Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Grown Ups, the podcast. Ellie, how are you doing, my darling?
Good morning, girl. Good morning, everyone. We are recording this on a Saturday morning, and I've had a productive morning so far.
No,
Been to the
a
gym.
productive morning is an understatement. Bloody hell, she's been up since 6 a.m.
Yeah, I went to the gym. I've done my hair. Just need to do my makeup, and then I'm going out. So, I feel good. But I know I'm going to die later. Like, I will be dead tonight. I hate
Where are you
weekends like
going?
this. I'm going to the theatre
Oh,
with
to
my
see
mum and my
what?
sister to see Mrs. Doubtfire. It's like one of those
Oh,
cheesy
yes.
ones.
Yeah, you told me. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But should be good. And then we're going for a nice Italian. So yeah, looking forward to it. I don't really like going out on Saturdays if I'm being honest. I like going out on weeknights and then resting on Saturdays.
Yeah, it's the
Um,
tea.
it is indeed. But once a month I can hack it. So
No, it's so funny because yesterday I was out on Friday night, as it's the tea.
yeah.
Um, and I went to this show called Sabrage, which is
Ooh.
basically it's so sick. I actually recommend it. It's like performances, but it's comedy at the same time. Like it's really hard to describe because I've really never seen anything like it.
Yeah.
But it's funny. I really liked it. Anyways, they had an interval. It started at 9:15, and it had a 20-minute interval in halfway through. And when I say I was yawning
Oh
through the
mate.
20-minute interval, like, damn, girl. I was like, it's not even that late, man. Like, why am I so tired?
I would have been dead at that time. By 9 o'clock, I'm always yawning. And then I get like a second burst of energy that gets me through till bedtime at like 11, and then I'm out
But
for the count.
we're young. Like, we're
I
not old.
know. I said this to my colleagues the other day. I said I better be aging backwards because if this is the start of my life, I dread to think what like 50 is gonna look like.
This is what I'm saying. Like, I definitely feel like our generation is like more tired and more. I don't know. I feel like we. I was. There was a podcast the other day. I didn't actually listen to it, but I just saw the title, and it was like, "Is the gym Gen Z's new club?"
Mm,
And I was like, I definitely feel like this generation and the younger generation prioritize their health more. Like even
yeah,
people at work always say like, oh, like your generation doesn't drink as much as like we did when we were your age. And I'm like, yeah, like people get hangovers so they're not trying to drink too much, blah blah. But I don't know, I just feel like we want to sleep more, we want to be indoors more. We're
yeah.
not clubbing as much as people used to club, like
I wonder if it's like an adrenaline rush because people used to work 7 days a week. Then they used to work 6 days a week. I can barely hack five.
yeah.
Like, I don't know whether because they never rested. You know, when you don't rest, your body just powers through.
You just keep going, yeah.
But as soon as I take a rest, I take some annual leave, my body dies. It's like,
Yeah,
who
man.
knows? It's a mystery, but we shall see.
Yeah, but other than that, guys, I've struggled to focus at work this week. Like it's actually been a
The
joke.
voice notes back and forth between us this week.
I was just so mad at myself. Like I was just so annoyed. Like I have deadlines. I have deadlines.
Yeah.
And now because of this, next week is going to be hell for me.
Oh,
It's going to be hell because I have
I hate
deadlines.
that. I always say to myself, I'm not going to carry Friday into Monday. Monday's going to be a fresh start. But never do I finish everything I meant to on like the week
When
before.
is Monday ever a fresh
Oh,
start, please?
so annoying.
No, but I had a really productive Friday. And I'm like,
Proud of you.
yeah, but it's like I can't even feel proud of myself for it because the stuff I did yesterday I should have done on Monday.
Yeah, easily done.
Oh,
Honestly, I don't know if it's like because summer's coming, not really feeling to work. I think it is that because I have also struggled lately. I've been in the office pretty much every day.
oh yeah,
I
you
can't be at
have.
home.
Yeah.
I cannot be at home because it's not even like I'm more motivated in the office. I'm not. It's just less painful because everyone else around me is working.
Yeah, it's like I'm less likely to sit there and
Scroll Instagram.
scroll or yeah, because there's people watching and there's people like
Yeah.
looking, but I will just chat.
Yeah.
That's the
Girl,
problem.
I've been to the pub two times this week. Let me not lie.
Yeah, mad, 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 mad.
But guys, we hope your weeks were productive this week. And do you know what? Next week will be better. We say this all the time, but it will. And the
I
weather's
know.
brightening up. Next week's meant to be good, or this week when
Is
you're listening to
it?
this. Yeah, yeah, it's meant to be good.
Oh, nice.
Like
Okay.
I'm saying, let me just double check. But I think it was 20s. Yeah,
Is
25 on
it?
Wednesday.
Wow. What am I gonna do?
Oh, cannot wait. I love going to work and not having to plan an outfit. It's just trousers, vest top, done. Like,
Oh my God.
oh,
My
love
whole
it.
wardrobe is a summer wardrobe, so I struggle in the winter.
Yeah, winter's just. Do you know what? If you're good at layering, it can look fire. But I'm not there yet, so I'm happy with just
No.
like a little no sleeve tee and some trousers. Done.
Yeah.
Can't wait. But we've got busy days ahead. Are you off out today? Oh, you're
I
Pole.
I'm going to Pole, yeah.
That's
Um,
exciting.
yeah, I'm really excited actually. And the performances yesterday was like lots of like acrobatic stuff, and like people were just so strong. It really inspired me. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I want to be like her.
Mate, I need to sort myself out. I'd be seeing girls in the gym with like these fire bodies, big bum, big thigh, like muscly as well. And I'm like, oh, the effort to get there though is insane. Your core must be mad though, because you've been doing pole for ages, isn't it?
Do you know what? Last week my pole teacher did say, she was like, "You're quite strong, you know." I was like, "Am I?"
What? Me? That is such a compliment.
That no, that is such a compliment coming from her, especially. Um, I don't know. I don't really. I don't know if my core itself is strong. I don't really work the core because I
Oh.
feel like um other exercise. My main thing is back and shoulders and like arms.
Hmm.
That's what I'm trying to get strong at because then I'll be really good at pole. Um, and I feel like by default you end up working your core by working everything else.
Yeah.
So I don't waste time working the core. I'll be honest.
Interesting.
Mm.
Well, we'll see. I feel like my arms are like sometimes quite strong, but they still look chunky. I'm like, can they tone? I swear if you build muscle, they're meant to start toning. Make it make sense. We shan't bore you guys. We will, yeah, we've got a busy day ahead. So we'll jump right into our favourite part of the episode in this week's episode of Being a Dumb Bitch.
Yes.
So I made a rookie error and forgot to book a meeting room despite my manager asking me several times. Girl, if they told you several times, do it.
Yeah.
So,
Why? Sorry. Several insinuates that it's more than two. Like you
yeah,
should have done
mate.
it. If you forgot after the first, you should have done it after the second.
Yeah. Do if someone tells you to do something and it's easy like that on the spot, do it.
Yeah.
Pause what you're doing. To paint you a picture, it's 2 minutes before the meeting starts. We're zooming around the office trying to find a room, but they're all booked. I spill my drink in the process, and despite our efforts, we end up sitting back at our desks, now late for the call. To top it all off, my manager was sat opposite me. Oh, so I had an echo the entire call. And I was terrified he was going to be mad at me, so I was stiff as hell. Complete nightmare.
Yeah. You should be terrified because because your manager told you in advance.
Yeah, that's the worst. If it's important, you need to be in a room, like, it needs to look good. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
But if it wasn't that important, then hopefully he was fine with it and he was like, "Ah, it is what it is."
Listen, but then also like shake it off. It's
Yeah.
happened now. Like, what can you do? Just don't do it again.
And people make mistakes. It could be way worse.
Do you know what? Sometimes you're meant to make a mistake so you never make it again and you're cautious.
Yes.
Because with the mistakes that I've made, I'm cautious. Like, I'm like traumatized from it. So I double and triple check things like that. So
This is
maybe
the idea.
you'll never do it again.
Hopefully, this is the idea for me. I think, okay, I've made that mistake once, I won't make it again. And it always just calms me down. But I make so many mistakes, it's hard to keep track to make sure that I don't make them again.
Yeah, I think it's like the big ones, like the numbers thing for me. Like
Oh, yeah.
I'll always check the zeros on an invoice to really be sure that
Yeah.
I'm doing the right thing.
Easily done, though. No worries about that. Don't you worry. Should we
I
jump
would
into
worry.
our duck? Don't listen to Maggie. We're spreading positivity. There's no need to worry about our mistakes. Everyone makes them.
Okay, so first dilemma. Hi girls, hope you're having a good week. I could really use your advice. To cut a long story short, I'm really not happy in my current role. I don't get on with management, and I know that they'll never help me progress no matter how hard I work. Finally, after almost 2 years, I woke up one morning and decided to do something about it. I set my LinkedIn to open to work and started reaching out to recruiters to help me land my next role. However, after a few months, I've had no luck at all, not even an interview. Girls, I feel demotivated and at a loss. Please give me some advice on how to best get through this difficult period.
I think this one's tough. Like, first of all, at least you've done something about it. Because people will just sit there and coast for years.
Yeah.
Like, at least you're actively trying. And also, the job market is terrible. Unless you're in, I'm super fortunate. Like, my role is very, not that we're in a recession, but recession proof.
Mm.
And we're pretty much always needed. But there are some roles out there that, like, no one is hiring at the moment. So maybe you're in one of those roles where it's super competitive, there's really little spots, but at least you're actively looking and just keep going for it. Like, just keep talking to recruiters, ask them to keep you updated. Like, I'm not even looking for a job, and I tell recruiters whenever they call me, I'm like, yeah, keep me updated, send them through my inbox, and I'll just have a scan because it's just good to know
Mm.
what's out there. Um, so yeah, don't feel demotivated about it. Just keep cracking on, and if something's meant to be, it will come up. You don't want to
Yeah.
jump into a role and it not be the right one again.
Yeah, it's really hard because the LinkedIn thing can like really work or it can really not. I think it
Mm.
definitely depends on who you're messaging. Like some people don't use LinkedIn like that. Some people ignore things in their inbox. Like I don't know. I feel like it really depends.
Yeah,
And the open to work thing, it's a cool feature that LinkedIn put in, but a lot of people do that. So I don't know how much it actually helps your engagement. But I feel like with LinkedIn, you definitely need to be commenting on posts, making
mm.
posts, like building up your profile as someone who's active on LinkedIn, um, as well as doing the messaging stuff. But you also on the side. I don't know. I feel like the job market is so difficult that you need to do everything at once. You have to do the LinkedIn,
Yeah,
but you also have to do the job applications. And you also, I would like recommend getting out there and going to network, especially because this person
yeah,
is already in industry, it sounds like they have a job already. Get out there and go to networking events in person. And you might meet someone who can't offer you a job but knows someone who's hiring, and it might be like a 5 step process of connection, but
hmm,
it could work that way. But in person you're just more likely to have that. I feel like you're more
yeah,
likely to leave an impression and to well get a response because you're in person. So unfortunately I just feel like you have to do a combination of things, and you actually just have to work overtime to try and find a new job, which is really frustrating.
yeah. We say this all the time, but finding a job is a full time job in itself.
Yeah.
It is so hard. And I do think nowadays, like even with my company, other companies I know that are hiring, so many, even yours, like based on your experience, so many of the roles are taken up internally. Like they
Hmm.
move people around, they hire internally, or it's, this wouldn't quite nicely into our poll, but it's like a friend of a friend, like someone recommends someone. It's so rare that it's someone actually gets it through the full interview process.
Yeah, and I feel like it's just there's just so many variables, like you just don't know. Um,
Mm.
but I also think you should, if your industry has it, you should go through a recruiter.
Yeah.
There's like recruitment agencies that will just help make the whole process so much easier. Like they have all of these connections. It's usually like you're usually at least guaranteed an interview. So
Hmm.
I would look through recruitment agencies to see if they can support you in finding a new job as well. But yeah, unfortunately, you just need to do all things at once and hope something sticks, which is really jarring.
Yeah, it sucks. Best of luck. Defo go through the recruiters, because if your CV looks terrible, they'll tell you. If you think you're wasting your time applying for a role, they'll tell you, and maybe that can cut some of the work.
And it's also in their best interest that you find
Yeah.
a job because they get a commission out of it. So
Yeah.
they're going to try and find you a job.
Yeah, it may just take a while. Do it. Do you know what? I'd say give yourself at least 6 months to a year, because
Mm.
this market is tough. And then regroup and be like, right, what's not working? Um, but just keep trying. Best of luck.
And at least you have a job at the moment.
Mm.
So it's good. I always say like, I would never quit my job and then apply for jobs. Like I would only move once I have something else lined up. So I think it's good that this person is still in their job.
Yeah, 100%. Like, money is everything. Let's be real. Money is power. So stay in the role, pay the bills, and then when the next job comes around, it comes around.
To keep it wholesome.
Another good thing, sorry, this is where I'm rambling, but another good thing to do, which is what I learned, is basically if you feel like your job is crap, you're suffering in that aspect of your life, look at other aspects of your life and be like, wait, what am I grateful for? What am I doing well here? Because it's not every day all five, three, whatever pillars of your life are going to be 10 out of 10.
100%. I always think this as well. I'm like, if I'm like sad in one aspect, I'm like, okay, well, at least this is going well. Or like,
100%.
I have good friends.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, life could be worse. So just look at the other aspects of your life. And if there's things
Yeah.
you want to improve in them, then work towards that too. But at least maybe you'll make some progress with that. So it doesn't feel so much like you're hitting a brick wall.
Yeah, it is hard to keep the balance. Like, you're never going to have all plates spinning correctly at the same time.
No.
And maybe another thing that would be good to consider is if you need to do a course or
Oh,
something,
yeah.
like maybe you need an additional skill to help you stand out. It could be something that your new job finances, or sorry, your old job, your current job finances. Maybe not though. I don't know, because sometimes they make you stay on for like a year
Mm.
after that, or you have to pay it. Um, or it could be like there's this website called Udemy. I
Ooh.
don't know if that's how you pronounce it. But they have loads of courses on there for really affordable prices, like £50, sometimes less because they have sales and stuff. And like, I remember when I started, I did a course on like the bond market because I work in the bond market. I didn't even know what a bond was. Um, and that was really useful. Like, I just did that on the weekend. I've done a course on like Excel because, girl, Excel will not be the death of me. Um, so I feel like you can also try to skill up as well
Hmm.
in this process.
Yeah,
But it's a long
that's.
thing. I get it.
I feel like that might have been some of the best advice you've ever given. Good advice, yeah. Best of luck. Let us know how you get on, and fingers crossed. It's tough out there.
It is. It's tough out there.
It really is. But this does link quite nicely into our poll, guys. And it wasn't even this that inspired us, but we were just thinking about jobs, how people get into their roles, etc. And so we asked you guys this week, is it right to use a personal connection to gain a job? So, like, can I say, oh, Maggie, can you recommend me to your firm and get me a job? Is it right or is it wrong? Before we discuss what the people think, what is your opinion?
Okay, this is not politically correct at all. It's right for us, but it's not right for
Amen.
rich people.
Oh, I was going to say it's right for me, but it's wrong for everyone else.
I just, yeah, no, actually though, actually, because it's like, it's right for us because I know we work hard
Yeah.
and we won't take anything for granted. Like, we're not going to take something and then coast. Like, we're going to grind and deserve it. Like, we deserve it.
Yeah.
But it's not right for everyone. Not
Amen.
everyone works hard. And just because your parents have a little connection here and there doesn't mean that you should be working there because you don't work hard. All right? So
Yeah.
it is for some, but not for others. Like, I'm very against it in many circumstances.
I completely agree. It's not black and white, this one, at all. As with
No.
all of our polls, yet we always give a yes or no answer.
Yeah.
But we do get you guys to write in your responses. No, I 110% agree. That is what it is like. But people do get found out because there's this. Shall I say this? There's this girl, and her dad is extremely well known,
Okay.
and so I don't think her dad is in a different firm. So I don't feel like she got the job because of that. But a lot of people would be like, "Oh yeah, she got the job. Do you know who her dad is?" She has mad
Lucky.
connections. So people praise her in terms of like her bringing in connections and work and stuff like that. But her output, her actual like written output, people diss her to the max. So I feel like even if you get a job this way, you might not survive.
The
It's a
thing
hard world
is,
out there. It's only a foot in. It's not keeping you there.
but this is what pisses me off because that girl probably has connections because
Yeah.
Saturday lunches, these people would come over for lunch as she was
Yeah.
growing up. And so
Mhm.
she's met them that way. And that pisses me off. But it's like, does it piss me off because I'm jealous and I wish I had that? Like, is it jealousy, Ellie? Is that why I'm pissed off?
Do you know what? I am not even jealous about that because imagine, Maggie, you're doing work on the weekends. Like, imagine you're talking business on the weekends. God forbid. I don't want to mix business and
But I
pleasure.
don't think it's like that. I think
Oh
it's
yeah,
literally like they know them on a casual level because these people come to their dad's birthday party or whatever. So it's not
it
like they're
is true.
talking
You're so
business.
right. To be fair, that's most of the people at my work. Most of them, their best friends work at other companies. Like their best friends. These people are going to their weddings.
Is it?
Yeah.
Maybe you need better friends.
Right, ta bye. No, I do think, yeah, it is tough. It is. And I think when I first started, that was probably the one thing I struggled with most. That really got in my head. I felt already like I was a million steps behind everyone else
Yeah.
because everyone else was starting on the same day as me with 10 million more connections. And I was so confused. I was like, how do you build this? How do you do it? Can I just say, do you know I've been saying how I've grown up a lot, I've matured a lot, I'm way less sensitive?
Yeah.
Your frontal lobe develops at 25. I'm sure it's that.
Oh my God. Yes.
It must be.
That's so
Because
true.
something just clicked. It was like, pew.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's so true. You actually did. It was night and day, wasn't it?
it was. Absolutely. I think it coincided with like the CBT I had, changing role. Like it was everything all together. But overnight, it was like something
Yeah.
just switched in my head. I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah, it's true.
Absolute madness. But this connection thing really got me when I first started. And so I hear what you're saying when you're like, nah, that pisses me off. Because it used to jar me to the max. I used to be like, for fuck's sake, why does everyone
Yeah.
know everyone? It's
Yeah.
so unfair.
No, it is unfair. And it's like I just also think it's like, oh, for internships and work experience, you've got this sick work experience, you've got this sick internship. And I remember for my internship, I had to bend over
Yeah.
backwards, bruv. Like I literally someone came into my school to like I don't know, corporates come into
Yeah.
schools to like talk about, oh,
Yeah.
this is where you could go. Um and I got the contact and I had the initiative to like contact them. I did work shadowing for 2 days for free. And then the next year I could do an internship with them. Like I had to lick ass. Like it's and so the fact that someone's mum can just WhatsApp someone and be like, oh, like my daughter's looking for an internship and you work at Vogue magazine or whatever, like,
Yeah.
do you mind? And they can just go through it that way irks me. But it's like, does it irk me because I wish I had that? Like, I'm really trying to check myself here.
I think it's tough. It used to annoy me. It used to jar me because, and it was jealousy. I thought I was on the back foot. Now I just don't care. Now I'm like, do you know what? I'm going to click with people that I'm going to click with. And
Yeah,
I think actually it irked me less as I started building my network. And I was like, this ain't that bad.
yeah,
Like, as you get better and you start meeting more people and it just comes more organically. I was struggling with it not being organic. And everyone else
yeah,
had these lovely organic friendships. And I was like, but it's tough. And to be fair, when you talk about checking yourself, both of my work, not that I've gone into either of these industries, but both of my work experiences were through family. Like,
okay. So this is what I wanted to go on to next
yeah.
because obviously you have young nieces and nephews. Maybe
Hmm.
one day you'll have kids, maybe one day you won't. But I've got a younger brother, and like we're in positions now where the older we get, like we know where we're going, innit? Like
Yeah.
we'll be in high
Yeah.
places, so it's fine. We might be able to give those opportunities one day and
Mhm.
give those connections. Would you?
Yeah, I would.
Is
Maybe I
it?
don't think it's bad. Do you know what? Someone checked me about this a while ago. Sorry guys, this is such a like intricate topic. But
It's our
so
podcast, Ellie. We can talk about what we want.
indeed. So like I would say my parents were or are working class and they've done better than their parents. And then
Mm.
equally, I think I'd still call myself working class. I don't think I'd class myself as middle class. Like maybe that's pushing it too far right now. But by the time I have kids, I'd like to think I'd be in that middle class bracket. I don't even know what the definition of middle class is.
Well, I think I don't know. That girl. I think the average. I think you earn higher than the average working wage.
Yeah. I
But
do.
that's because, like, when you average out across the UK, people earn really low salaries.
Yeah, it's madness.
So the average is actually quite low. And because you've got dual income and not no kids, you're probably in middle class bracket, darling.
What?
Wow.
Amazing. No. But yeah, in summary, I'd like to see myself there. Basically, just living a comfortable lifestyle. Yeah, not
Yeah.
being like, oh, we should cut back this month because I don't want that.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
tiring. Anyways,
Yeah. Allow it.
so then I'm like, I haven't had these opportunities, and then this girl said, "Yeah, but you are my parents." So this is a different girl. And she's like, I've had a really good upbringing. I've had all of these opportunities because my parents were you. They worked super hard, and now they feel like they should give it back because they're like, I want to give you what my parents never were able to give me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit. Maybe that's just what everyone else is doing. It's just passed down generations. Like, how can you say once you get to 5 generations into being wealthy and educated that you're no longer allowed to help your children out? Do you know what I mean? It's so tough.
Oh, yeah, it is really tough. And I think about this all the time when it comes to my brother. I think for me personally, I'll only give you the connection and the opportunity if you show and
Yeah,
exhibit the personality type of someone who's going to work hard and run with it.
a
And
million
by the
percent.
way, this also pisses me off when it comes to like friends. Like I've had friends who they're looking for jobs or whatever, or like not even just friends, but like people that I've met in industry, and they're
Hmm.
looking for a particular connection, which I have and I can share with them. And then I share it with them. I always like check with the person, like, is it all right? I met this person. Is it okay if I share this contact? Blah, blah. So I'm sticking my neck out.
Yeah.
And then they don't follow through. I look like an idiot
Yeah,
now.
that's
Or
fucking
they follow
jarring.
through and like are not like professional about it or whatever, or it's like irrelevant kind of thing. And it just, if I'm going to make that connection for you and link you up, you need to run with it. And because
Yeah.
that's what I would do. Like if any connection that I got, I run with it and I make sure that you're now reflected positively for connecting me and it wasn't a
Hmm.
waste of time and I'm not wasting the other person's time. But many a time I've been in situations where I feel dumb because I've connected someone and they either haven't reached out or they haven't um it just was irrelevant, so it was a waste of
Yeah.
time in the end. And that really irritates me. So I feel like, to give forward, I haven't been in a situation where like I haven't done this,
Hmm.
but I definitely like analyze the situation. It's like, is this person just looking for a shortcut,
Yeah.
or are they genuinely just trying to open a door here, and then once they open that door they'll run through it and do amazing things? And so that's what I think about when I'm thinking about like my brother, and like when you guys start having kids, like if I'll connect them or not, because you need, like, I'm sorry, you just, not everyone deserves everything. Like it's,
I
there's
agree.
people out there, it's like such a gap in the privilege because there's so many kids, like even if I think about my school, who come from like really working class environments, who really will work hard and like are really talented but just haven't been given the opportunity. And I would hate to give the opportunity to some middle class kid who's not,
Hmm.
who won't work as hard, who doesn't care about it as much, when there's so many people that would like die for the opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's my perspective on it.
I think it's so tough because now you've mentioned the whole like working class, giving back to kids in schools and stuff. I had an intern who came from a working class background, had an amazing opportunity. Like to get an internship at my firm is huge. I would have
Yeah.
loved that when I was younger. And he just completely disrespected it. So I think you're so right when you say actually it's more about are they going to work hard?
Depends on the personality,
Yeah.
100%. Because yeah, that, sorry, that got me. I just forgot about that. That got me so mad. It's like
I
you're
was
in such a
fuming.
good position here, and you're not taking advantage of it. Not even not taking advantage of it. He just wasn't doing the work. Like
Disrespected it entirely. Like, had no idea what an amazing opportunity that was.
my
But
guy was like on the phone in the office, wasn't he?
yeah, it was
Yeah.
awful. But
That-
this is a tough one. I don't know. I just think you need a good mix. Like, yes, people should use connections, but you need a good mix. And personally, I would never ever want to work in the same company as family. Like, I want to be an individual. I want to be my own person.
yeah,
I don't
I
want to be
do. I
associated with my family in a professional setting.
Yeah, I did meet someone who like she became like an executive of this company in Brazil because her it was like her dad's firm,
Mm,
and she did say that like people kind of look down on her because one, she's really young, but also like it's nepotism.
hmm.
Um and I was like, yeah, well, fair enough. I didn't say that obviously, but like I can see why unless you have to, nepotism only works if you're really good at what you step into,
Hmm.
and then people you have to, unfortunately, maybe in some senses you do have to work harder to prove that you deserve to be there, which
Yeah,
can also be difficult, which is something that like we don't relate to, but maybe there is that challenge on that side as well, where if you got the job organically, you wouldn't have to work as hard as if you do when you get it through nepotism.
yeah.
So that's probably a challenge as well. But I don't know. I think because I'm like I just know where like we come from and just how hard it is. I feel like I have bitterness towards it, which is really bad.
I'm on the fence. Like, yeah, let's see what the people said.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So tough on this. Just to reiterate, the question was: is it right to use personal connections to gain a job? 96% said yes. It's who you know, not what you know.
Mad.
Mad. I wasn't expecting that.
I listen, it's who you know, not what you know. We totally agree with that. But I'm saying you need to build your who you know,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
be given it on a silver platter.
Yes, yes, yes. I agree. Perfectly said. So only 4% said no, you should do it on your own.
All right then.
Let's hear some of your thoughts and experiences. So someone said, yes, you absolutely should. At the end of the day, you worked to build whatever connections you have, so you should be able to reap the rewards. I think this is exactly what you just said. So long as
Yeah.
you've built that network by yourself, slash with a little bit of help, like we don't want to do everything by ourselves in this world. This life is hard. But it hasn't been handed to you, then yeah, exactly, reap the rewards because that is the world goes round based on connections.
I've just thought of something which is spinning my mind a little bit because though I've worked my ass off, I also have been very blessed and like have just happened to like my CEO asking me to do that panel. That was a blessing. Like I didn't ask for that. That was handed to me on a silver platter.
No, I disagree. I
Wow.
disagree entirely. Someone isn't going to hand you a panel for no reason.
But I'm saying that
You must have
I've
impressed to the max. They could have picked anyone in the whole entire company. That ain't silver platter. Mm-mm.
okay.
That's just being a boss bitch and someone recognizing it and being like, yeah, here you go. Girl, are you mad?
All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Let's see what
Your
else
head
people
needs to get
said.
bigger again.
It does, guys. What you don't see, because we haven't really spoken about it on the podcast. But I'm starting to revert. Like my head used to be big. It's getting small.
Guys, I will never forget the first ever episode. I actually love the fact that we document our lives. We were sat in my sister's garden in her outhouse and we were pissing ourselves laughing because I was talking about how I cried on my first day at work because I just couldn't believe it. It was so tough. Like, I was like, am I going to survive? This is awful. I have to work 5 days a week. And Maggie was like, girl, my head was so big, I couldn't even fit through the door.
It was so true. Like, but this is what I think. Like, I feel like my innocence is being stripped away because I feel like when I was younger, I was so ambitious and believed like I could do anything, like absolutely anything. And I feel like as you get older, you're you get humbled and you get like a real harsh reality of what life actually is and how hard you're going to have to work if you still want to get to that place. And don't get me wrong, my ambition hasn't changed. The
Yeah.
goalpost is still the goalpost, but I'm like being more like, dare I say, not realistic. Well, yeah, realistic about what the journey is going to look like, and it's humbling me a lot.
They do say though There must be some chemical or something that when you get older, you are just more fearful. That's why they say you should start sports, and like people who start skiing when they're younger, it's way easier than people who start when
Yeah.
they're older because the fear really settles in and it's in every aspect of life.
Yeah, it's true. I
Like,
was reading a book that said it was like this girl was starting something new, and someone was like to her, she was like, "Are you scared?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "Well, if you're not scared, you're not living." I was like,
I
do you know what? In obviously in certain scenarios, not in all scenarios, but it's so true. Like some of the best things that sorry, we're bare diverting, but
love
as I
it.
said, it's our podcast, we can do what we want. Some of the best things that I've ever done have come from a place of fear of like even if I think like obvious things like skydiving, like that's
Mm.
scary. It was like the best thing I've ever done in my life. But then also work stuff like public speaking or like advocating for myself in certain situations, which meant that I got a promotion.
Yeah.
That came from like something scary. I'm sure like falling in love as well, like can feel scary, but then it's like it can be a really good reward. Like I definitely think that really beautiful things can come from a place of fear.
Yeah, 100%. Even though it's bloody
Yeah.
painful and I wish it wasn't the way, never have
Yeah.
I made more progress than when I've really not wanted to do something and I've done it anyway. Like through
Yeah.
fear, not being motivated. Like you will get the best result.
Hate that.
I
Mad
know.
uncomfortable.
Who created this cycle? Like,
Capitalism, my
do
God.
you know what? Speaking, guys, because we're rambling anyway, we'll probably need to wrap up soon because gotta go get ready and Megan needs to get to her pole class. But speaking of backgrounds and stuff, I even remember when I wanted to change role into my current team, and they were like, "You have to wait another 6 months till September." And I said to my mum, "Nah, they're getting my resignation tomorrow unless they move me. Like, I am so unhappy."
Yeah.
And because of my background in my upbringing, my mum was like, "No, that's so silly. They've been really good to you, Ellie. Don't do it. Don't do it." And my elder sister, who's obviously seen the working world, because my mum never did corporate, not really. She did it
Yeah.
for a couple of years and then she raised us. But my sister was like, "Nah, you're just a number." She was like, "You go tell them they move you tomorrow."
Yes,
And
that's
it's
so
like
true.
even having the knowledge of how corporate world works and being able to stand up for yourself and advocate for yourself, like there are so many differences when you have family who have been in a
Yeah.
similar industry or had a similar experience and they can tell you how to act, like how to hold
Yeah.
yourself. It makes a massive difference. So glad I'm not the oldest.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, oh. Are you?
I'm actually done. Yes, sis,
No.
you are working hard.
No, being the
Mad.
oldest is actually it's actually a lot, and it's we need to talk about this because
We
being
do.
the oldest sibling is like you're the test
You're guinea
child.
pig. Yes.
Like your parents are like learning. They're learning how to be adults themselves because they're also living through this life, but then they're raising a child for the first time. I will say though, like I think the advantage of being the first is that I feel like I got a lot of attention because I was the first.
Mm.
And like your parents are like really careful and stuff like that. But then they're also like eyeballing a lot of situations. And I definitely think the job application process, like my brother right now, he's trying to get work experience.
Mhm.
And so I'm helping him like write a CV and how to like apply for stuff and like helping him through that process. Whereas I didn't have that.
I actually, Maggie, I've never deeped this before. How have I not deeped that I'm the youngest and you're the eldest?
Yeah. Oh my
Bloody
God.
hell.
Yeah. I've never deep that.
Life must, I am just now deeping. Guys, I'm sat here thinking about how much I had handed to me. My sisters always helped me with my CV. They always
Yeah.
helped me, like, maybe not prep for interviews, but just, even when I had my pay rise chat, I sat with my sister and I was like, right, I'm going to say this. She was like, do not say that. I was like, I'm going to say this. She was like, okay, yeah, say that. Like, this is insane, Maggie. I'm even more proud of you. You've done it all yourself.
But this is where I'm saying that like I've also been very blessed because I went to a school where at the time that I was in school, the teachers we had were incredible, Ellie. Like
Mm,
they poured so much into us. They really helped like where my parents couldn't help with CV writing and
mm.
guidance on like all of that stuff. Though I had teachers that were helping me. So that's what I was like, not everyone has that. Like I have also been very blessed as well.
We've been blessed in different ways, but equally worked mad hard because those teachers would have helped 101 students at your school, but I bet 101 students are not where you are because unless you actually take full, I don't know, you take that and you run with it fully,
Yeah.
entirely, wholly, then nothing's going to come of it. So, have your big head too, girl.
Yeah, come on. Need to grow my head. What's going on? Someone else said, completely depends. There are some industries, including the one that I work in, that are so hard to break into. Unless your brother, sister, mother, auntie, or auntie's stepdad's best friend works in the industry, you've got no chance. It leads to very little diversity. And I really do wish this wasn't the case. That's such a good point, actually. A lot of
Yeah.
industries are really hard to break into. It's hard for an outsider to come in. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good point.
I'd say this was probably my industry, like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30 years ago, because I even noticed it joining that so many people know everyone. Like,
Mm.
yeah, mum, dad, etc., work in the industry, but I do feel like mine has gotten way better. Even in the 4 years that I've been here, I think when I first started, it felt intimidating. And in
Mm.
the 4 years that I've done the role, I've been like, oh no, they're actively trying to make a change. Like, this person also has no connections, etc. And it kind of opens your eyes. But I can imagine if I had joined this industry 10, 20 years ago, I would have struggled. It's
Yeah.
so difficult when everyone knows everyone, and it makes you feel like an outsider, even if people are lovely to you.
Yeah. No, I totally I didn't have that because I started at an NGO. So
Mm.
naturally we were more diverse and we had people from across different ages and stuff, and it wasn't as a competitive environment. But I remember when you started and you were in a team of white men,
Yeah.
like older white men.
Everyone went to the
And
same uni.
yeah, they all like did golf and stuff on the weekends. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it definitely, I think, imagine what it would have been like, because this is after the movement of like diversity and inclusion and quotas, and even
Yeah.
universities as well having these quotas to make sure that it's not like a specific type of person that goes to really good universities. So that is really interesting to talk about.
Yeah. It's a tough one, boy. Pick for the people at the top. Um, Someone said, yes, after all, it is who you know, but I don't agree with this when there is someone else better suited to the role. If you're good
Yeah.
at your job and your friend happens to work for the same company, then what a bonus. But if you get the job just because your friend works at the company and you're not cut out for the role, then I do not agree with that.
Yeah, this is the thing. I there was an instance where I recommended my friend for one of the roles in a different team at my company, and the privilege there was that now her application was definitely seen, and
Yeah.
she was given an interview because it came as a recommendation. So she was given an interview, but the fairness of the process was that she didn't get the job because someone else was better.
Mhm.
So I think that's really important, of like, do you actually deserve to be there? It's okay, you can open a door, but someone needs to check that you deserve to walk through it.
Yeah, 100%. Look at these bars that make you be spitting. um,
Oh god.
I agree with that entirely. Nothing to add.
Yes. Someone said, I do not agree with this. I work in a school where the head teacher has slowly over the years hired her family and friends and their families too. It's so clicky and creates a real divide. My gosh, yeah.
Yeah, I hear that too. Is that the other one with the industry, but obviously on a smaller scale? It just doesn't make a nice environment. You need people from different backgrounds with different ideas who are going to
Yeah,
help a place grow. Especially in a
for
school,
sure.
like kids want to see themselves reflected in their teachers.
Yes.
And like if you've got everyone from similar backgrounds, know each other, like it's not going to have that impact on the kids.
No, exactly. And schools, especially, you really need to be careful about who's leader, like what the leadership team looks like, because you're molding the future generation. Like, teachers are so important. We can't be
Mate,
having nepotism in schools, please.
yeah, there's some of the stories I hear from my sisters about their workplace and how lazy people are. It is
Really?
insane. It's madness. Madness. Should we do one more?
Yes.
Go on, girl.
So someone said, I do agree with this and hope the stigma around it changes someday. I got a role at a large corporate where my father so happens to work too. See me side eyeing. I've done really well so far and have been promoted multiple times. I wonder why. but
I
people
am
always put it
dead.
down to
Not us losing listeners.
sorry, sorry, but people always put it down to it being who my dad is rather than my hard work. It's super frustrating, but luckily I have thick skin. Sorry, I know. I have the bias too though. If someone sorry. If someone joined my company and they're the daughter or the son of someone in the senior leadership team, yeah, I am gonna be judging you.
I think it's, do you know what? I think it's tough on both sides because
It
to
is,
everyone
yeah.
else, it looks like you only got it because it's your dad and they're going to be mad about that. Cool. But then equally, Meggie, like, we're absolutely bossing it. So if someone else came in, I don't know if I'd feel that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know I'm going to be okay. Same way you know you're going to
Yeah,
be okay.
yeah. I don't think it's a threat, but it
Yeah.
does.
It's just,
Oh gosh,
it
I
annoys you
think
because
I
you've worked
have.
so hard.
Yeah, but that's what I'm checking myself on this morning because I need to like why does it bother me so much? I just think like inequality is so high and
Mm.
it's just getting higher and the gap between the rich and the poor is getting so much larger and it I think that situation is an example of that. It's like it's almost like an illustration of the gap getting higher and I think that's why it grinds my gears so much. But it shouldn't because there are fantastic people that come from like really good families and deserve to be in high places because they are intelligent enough. Then I'm like, are you intelligent enough because you went to a really good school and you had really good work experience and you've had intelligent conversations around the dinner table because your parents are in high places? Do
This,
you know what I mean?
the spiral, the circle, it's real. It's so
It's
hard. It's so
why
hard.
am I spiraling on this? It doesn't even affect me. But like
I think it is so circumstantial, and like it could be the fact that actually her dad was us. He grinded so hard, and he's like,
yeah.
"Here's a job. I'm going to make sure you succeed too." It is so hard, but at the same time, I think I can safely say, do you know what? I just had a thought in my head. I was going to say, I think I can safely say, I would never ever give my kid a job for me. I don't want them to work for me. I don't want them to work with me. I want them to find their own path and be their own person in the world. Like,
Yeah.
even if they love what I do, they need to go do that at a different company.
Hmm.
But then I thought to myself, what if my kid was struggling? Would I not help them?
Yeah,
No,
of course you no, but you would like because
not
of
by
course you
giving them
don't.
a job. That's not helping them.
Yes, that's true. It's not
It's
helping
not
them.
helping
Your
them.
job as a parent is to support them enough and give them enough encouragement that they're able to find out what their passion is,
Yeah.
and I think that's really important. But I can imagine it's hard on the other side. And I've just
Mm.
remembered my one of my mum's distant cousins, like I've never even met them. But he's a really good surgeon. Like he's a one of like the top surgeons in the wherever he lives. And his son is now training to be a surgeon. And I imagine, I've never spoken to the guy, I've never met him, but I can imagine that he must get compared to his dad all the time, and that must
Mm.
be really difficult because maybe like I don't know, like that it must be difficult, but I feel like I don't know, I just keep thinking about like that young working class boy or girl who just has no connection, whose parents don't work in corporate at all, who work like blue collar jobs,
Mhm.
who may never be given an opportunity because other people are taking up the space that may not necessarily deserve it. And I don't know how you solve that.
Yeah, guys, this ain't one that's going to be sold in an hour podcast, but it was
Yeah,
really interesting to discuss.
yeah,
And who
it
knows what the
was.
future holds? Yeah, who knows where your brother will end up? Who knows where maybe if I have kids, they will end up? Or my nieces and nephews. Shit, I got a ton of those.
Yeah, you got hella.
But to be fair, even that, my sister, when she was trying to like motivate my nephew, be like, "What do you want to do?" Because he's now 17. She was like, "Do you want to be a surveyor like Ellie?" Da, da, da. And I was like, "No, I don't think he will. I don't think he's cut out for it. Like, I don't
Yeah,
see him working
that
as
part.
hard as I work."
That part.
Yeah. And I was like,
Yeah.
no, no, I do not recommend him going down that route. Don't do this. Do something else. And he actually went down the plumbing route like Billy, and he's loving it. He's really enjoying it. And
Yeah.
there's as much money to be made in that. You just need to find what suits your skill set. It's not always follow your family.
Yes,
Um,
100%.
But yeah, side note.
Anyways, we got a bit into our feelings there, but thank you if you made it all the way to the end of this podcast. And if you have any thoughts on anything we've said, do like hit us up on Instagram at Grownups Podcast, or
Please
you can
do.
email us at grownupspodcast@gmail.com.
Have a fantastic week, guys. Enjoy the sun.
Bye.
Bye.